morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you may be in the world, we want to welcome you to our show today. My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am your host, and this is a panel show of fabulous guests. And I am not going to take much more of your time because I want to introduce them all to you because we have a very special show that we've designed. So let's do this. We are live, and it is a fabulous guest panel. Then I'm going to go around right now. I'm going to give each one of them a moment to introduce themselves. Who are they? Where are they? And what is it that they're known for? Wink, wink. And let's start with Cheryl. Cheryl.
Hi, I'm known as the Health Muse. I have a chronic illness, and since I got it under control with lifestyle changes, I went back to coaching school so that I could help other people do the same thing. And so I inspire you to change how you eat and all the other lifestyle habits that will support your body to come back into balance.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. And we are going next to Coach.
Oh, really? Like that? All the ladies are supposed to go first. Hi, how are you? My name is Charles Prinzen. I'm currently on the island of Oahu on the west side. I'm the CEO and founder of Me Eat Now Consulting. And what do? I am a locker room coach, and I'm going to help you in your game of life.
I love it. I love it. Next, we have Pat White. Pat, let's go.
Hi. Thank you. I'm from right outside of Philadelphia. I'm a singer-songwriter, yoga instructor. So I like to write. I write articles. I like to write, sing, entertain, do yoga, work out, help people that way.
I love it. I love it. And next we have Amiee.
Hi, everyone. I am Amiee Boswinkle. I live in Northwest Indiana in the United States of America. I am a psychic, a soul coach, an author, and a BA in psychology, and I love helping people connect mind, body, and soul.
I love it. I love it. And Rosalyn.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rosalyn. I'm from sunny Southern California. I am a TV host of a show called Living Your Best Life. I am an author of a book that's coming out in audio. It's called A Message for Tomorrow's Leader, about today's youth. I also teach in the college classroom and so much more. It's an honor and a privilege to be with you all here today.
Thank you. And it's my honor. And I am going to set the mood for this show with a video. So let's go. life is happening out there, yet we're in what they call the holiday season right now. And thank you for the clapping. And I want to get to it now. And I want to also recognize the comments and keep stay up with everybody. And as we start, I want to invite those that are here right now, even if we don't get a chance while we're live, I want to invite you to share your hearts, share your questions, share your thoughts, because this is a collective that we are stronger together. And we are in a holiday season right now that many would say has been unlike any other. Some are having their miracles taking place and others are struggling. And yet, when we are here together, we can make a difference. So I want to welcome you all to, yes, share in the comments. And then I'm going to welcome our guest panelists to go back after the show even and check and see what was said. And if there was a question that was particular to you and we didn't get to answer it, please go in and answer it after the show. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up because we have so many that have so many experiences here. And I'm sure that some of this might have touched in different ways. And I would love to be able to start the conversation now. So who would like to say something?
Sure.
Cheryl.
I know this is a difficult time. This is the best of times and the worst of times. I just posted that. So if you're in one of the best of times, make sure you're touching everyone you come in contact with kindness, with laughter, with joy. And if you're in the worst of times, don't be by yourself. Reach out to somebody and allow them to share their joy with you and to listen to you so that you're not isolated and you can also get some of the joy of the season through the people that surround you.
Thank you for saying that. And may I just add and kind of follow up, because what you've got, and I'm going to bring myself and so you guys can see this again, is that I have some of your books here because you're an author and you're all over the place with this series of feeling good. And it's to help to detox. And it's not just what we eat, but it's our lives, right? And
Yep.
And let's be honest, sometimes when we show up to those events, sometimes you're like, oh, it's that time of year again, and I got to go into that toxic environment. And, sometimes you feel that way, sometimes you don't. Yet there's ways of being able to do it. And I know in our buddies group, you've given us so many great tips and tricks on how to do that. And so I want to say thank you for that. And we'll come back. And so that people understand when she starts talking about detoxing, you'll understand where she's coming from because this woman knows her stuff. She's award winning. She is a go-to for this particular subject matter. Who would like to speak next? Coach?
Seems how you keep calling me out, my beautiful sister. Look, for me, it's been a very difficult year. Look, it's been a up and derby roller coaster life. Isn't that what happens to us? So for me, Charles Prinzen, otherwise known as Coach Chuck, the locker room coach, helping you understand and change your game plan in this game of life, in the journey. And we all, look, I just turned 67 years old, and I understand what this journey is, and I played in a lot of different playing fields. And all of us here are here to help you change your game plan from negativity to positivity, because there's always going to be negativity around you. How you change that from negativity to positivity, it's not easy. But we're here to help you today because every single one of us has gone through something. And I'm definitely dealing with a lot of emotions right now. Yeah, there's my baby. The 24th, next Saturday, would have been 1 year that we lost my baby to cancer, a 12-year battle. And I was there from diagnosis to wings. And the story behind me, why do I know or how do I understand what people are going through? I'm going through it. We all are going through it. But how can you deny the fact that Mapawana and I were teenage parents at 17 and 15? Life, the journey that we were given, took us off in a different path. 33 years later, we were reunited and share 17 grandchildren, 6 great grandchildren. I am now in Hawaii as the head, the tutu of 4 generations. The journey is not always easy, but understand the purpose of the journey and why you were given, or the reason why you were given life by the Creator and given you a journey for you to be out there and help others as we're doing today.
Thank you for sharing that. And I want to publicly say thank you for all the time that you come into the community, and you're real and you're raw and you share, and so many can relate with you. And the community that I'm speaking of, for anybody that may not know, is that we support people that are affected by cancer and other life-changing health events, both the patient and those people that love and support them. And we get together in what we call chats, and we have real talk behind safe doors. And many here and have in one way or another served our community, and I want to say thank you for that, Coach. Who would like to now speak? Okay, yes. Let me just bring up whatever that may be. Oh yes, there. Let me share, because all right, that's another one. Oh, is that from? Oh, is that from
That's
her?
that's going to be, that's her. What we're going to pass out on. We're going to have a really large luau next Saturday, a big one. But that's her and her life and where she was. And if you see the center one, that's my queen. That's the founder of this family, this Ohana, and we're going to celebrate her life next Saturday.
And just to share this
Well,
also, that this was a really big thing too in regards to it, and it shares your heart. We'll go into the story in a bit, but I just want people to know that this man is coming from his heart. He always does, and he doesn't mind sharing it. Pat, why don't we go next? I saw you wanted to raise your hand. I'm going to bring you. There you go. Thank you for being
Hi.
with us.
Oh,
Hi.
thank you. I just want to share 30 years ago on Christmas Day, my mother passed away suddenly from a massive heart attack. I was devastated. That's when I stopped sending out Christmas cards. I didn't want to celebrate anymore. Uh, 2 years ago, August 2020, my husband passed away from COVID. And my son had special needs, and he was very, very upset about it. He was hospitalized a few times. He couldn't deal with everything. So, I mean, I lost my whole world just like that. And I just want people, they think they're helping, but you have to be respectful. If somebody does want to be left alone, don't like people had said so many things to me. And again, they don't know what to say, so they think they have to say something. They'll tell you, I've heard everything. Oh, you should go out. Gary would want you to go out. Oh, do you think you're going out too soon? Oh, sell your house. Don't sell your house. They think stages of grief are linear. Oh, you're in this stage. I read a book, and you know what? You should be here right now. What stages of grief aren't linear. You don't go through them and graduate and never have them again. The best way to explain it is, like the ebb and flow of the ocean. It comes in waves. And, like obviously now it's much better than it was 2 years ago for me. But, I could still have a bad day. Don't ask me why. Don't say I should be over it. You never get over it. One person doesn't replace another one. But just be respectful of people. Again, they try to do it from their heart, but they say so many things that just are irritating.
And thank you for bringing. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's a fair comment. I think that's great.
Yeah, and I was actually going to say, and then I'll get to you, Coach. Is that just to represent the buddies right now? Is that buddies actually will bring it up to me a lot of times, like, why do they? I hear this so much from so many of them. Why do they think they understand when they haven't been there? And yet that's why also having community of people that do understand and are willing to go in and visit one way or another, or listen, like like you were saying, you don't always have to say something. It goes a long way. And thank you for sharing that, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being here and on this subject matter, because I do understand where you come from that when you mentioned your mother, because I still struggle, and I did share, and it just always is something I always seem to be sharing. It seems like, but my mother passed away during the holidays also, and not on Christmas Day, but it was a big thing for her. And in fact, I sprinkled along with some of the things that I had bought for the silver and gold that we did for her celebration of life, because that was the big thing. Okay, how do we bring the celebration of her life in the time that she loved, which was the holidays, so that we will then want to revisit the holidays later? And it
Right.
was with silver and gold. And so I sprinkled amongst for the set this morning. It was up in the garage finding them. And, in honor of her, because it's our way of being able to remember and then move on,
Right.
in my way, and so I wanted to recognize that and say thank you, because you inspired me to do that. And I want to keep going with also thank you for your thoughts and your journey. Yes, Caroline, I agree. Let your heart walk. It's on a path and receiving it with blessings. And I know that, there's many of our buddies, of which Helene is one. She doesn't mind sharing that. And the purpose is to listen and be still in silence. And I want to go to you, I hope you don't mind, but Amiee, you're next. Because you understand and you help so. Oh, wait, I just screamed. Okay, I'm moving you here. You understand and you work with so many because of your experience and your education that are going through, change and the pain of change and such things. I'd love to hear from you and what you're thinking right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Tamara. And thank you to the other panelists for sharing your insight. Hello, friends. This is really such an important and powerful conversation. And, what this is bringing up for me, part one, is I just want to honor all of you who find tons of celebration and honor in the holidays, and just to remind all of us that it's so important to remember to be in the now and be very present with those feelings and the emotions and the people that are in our life, because those are incredibly precious moments. But for those of us, including myself, who find a little bit of disconnect or disassociation with the holidays, I lost my mother in 2008. She was an addict. I have recovered from addictions myself. And her birthday's on the 29th. She would have been 70 years old this year. So I'm a very sensitive person, and vulnerability is my strength. So please know that I'm very strong right now as I share this, but there's a lot of emotion coming through me as I share this too. I've been talking about this with my clients, those of us who have experienced multiple massive traumas, and even though we've done tons and tons and tons of healing, our nervous system can remember and hold on to past events, no matter how much we have healed, and to honor that, right? Like, as the depression or as the sadness or as the feelings come up, they're not bad or wrong. They're feelings, and they're meant to be seen, right? And to recognize them and have awareness of them, and gain clarity around their presence and why they're coming up, and in a sense befriend them, and not stuff them down, not push them down, and just allow them to express themselves. And as we allow the emotions to express themselves, it creates so much more space internally, because we're talking about the chakra system. The heart chakra stores stuck repressed emotions, and if we allow ourselves to just express the emotion, we create so much more space inside of the body, which allows for greater inner peace, so that we can become more present and be centered and focused in our body, so that our mind isn't taking over so much.
And thank you for that. And I said, like any images and stuff, and you're so humble and so amazing. Connections restored, the journey towards whole. These are the things that you do. And I also had to, because this is how I first met her. It was through an image, because she also ran for the next impactor. And I saw that image so many times, and I was like, I want to know that woman. I want to know her, and she wasn't on my team, and I didn't get to know her really until after Impactor was over. And yet one of my teammates kept saying, "Oh, she's just amazing. Everything you see is everything she is." And so I just wanted to say, I needed to recognize you for the beauty and the spirit that you always show up with, and say thank you for that. Amazing, amazing. And also, now we're going to go to Rosalyn. Rosalyn, what I want to do right now, because we've been talking about a lot, you and I, over the last few 24 hours, 48 hours, in regards to different projects and things that you've got. Yet, I want to recognize also, not only do you have the one book, but I'm going to bring up, because see, one thing about having you guys be on my show in the past for Service Heroes is that I remember a lot of this stuff. And, and I remembered that you, in some of your other books, random acts of kindness are changing the world. And another one is this one, Dogs and Roses, reducing stress and anxiety in today's troubled times. You wrote that a while ago, and it couldn't be more relevant now. Plus, the thing you did not mention, which I'm going to brag about, is that you are a 3-time TEDx speaker. And that was another subject, and we actually wanted to have you on the show, and we talked about that, but it didn't work out for your timing. So, you right now, in today's experience, you are, because of a project you're working on. Yesterday, you could have had the cavalry come in to help, right? It's not always that we're in the holidays, but oftentimes we can have those stressful moments when we are in a big project, or we're doing something that actually our passion is involved. And it's like, okay, there can be that stress that shows up. And yet, here you have these books that you've written, and you've written another one that now is that is about mentoring our leaders of tomorrow. What I would love to hear from you, with all of that set up. What is it that you want to share right now with those that are watching to help them?
Well, I want everybody to know, beyond this beautiful white sweater and this gorgeous red scarf, that it's half of what you see. I mean, I could tell you, last night I was at the same computer and I was screaming and yelling and crying because it just didn't work out. I didn't feel like there were people out there who were supporting, who were, these people I thought that were supporting me. How could you not return the phone call? You said yesterday you were going to do this. And I'm calling Pete, I took a nap and I went out and I said, okay, she'll have the post for me later. She'll have the post for me later. And later comes and it's not there. And I'm calling Tamara, and when I get stressed, I send weird messages. Things don't make sense. But I want you to know there's always an abdominal spirit that says we're going to somehow live through this. And as this person was helping me last night, and I said, this is 4 hours. I'm supposed to be on the phone all day long. I'm not on the phone. I'm doing the stupid computer stuff. I'm not supposed to be doing this computer stuff. Someone else is supposed to be doing this computer stuff. Why me? Why me? Why me? And I know that there's an important thing about breaking the cycle. And so I want everyone to know that when you're at your all-time, oh my gosh, this isn't happening, to breathe, to get up, to go outside, to take a break. And so as it seemed like one more thing happened, that this wasn't going to happen and that wasn't going to happen, I said, I don't care how cold it is outside. I'm going to put on this big heavy jacket. I'm going to put on these muffles, and I'm going to walk. I'm not going to the kitchen. I'm not going to eat my way through it. I'm not going to, do this, that, I'm just going to walk. And I find that colors, lights, looking at the lights of the holidays. In the daytime, it's the flowers. Or, getting up this morning, I took a walk and I said, I'm just going out and collecting leaves, and I'm going to look at how beautiful it is to see the moon in the daytime. And there I was with my dog. Dog, you're going to sit here. We're going to make this post. We're going to make it happen. And I want to tell the magic of these beautiful rings here. There's a magic of rings, and there's this thing called ring shui, and I want to share it all with you because I had to go out the store and buy some rings. There's a lady whose name is Barbara Berg, and Barbara Berg said there's powers in rings. So this is the wedding ring, and this is the ring that you wear when you want people to help you out. And then there's this other ring right here, And the other ring is this one that I just got this morning because I couldn't wait till this afternoon for all my friends that have rings to go ahead, and it's your wishes, your command. And I said, after what happened yesterday, I was going to go out and I was going to buy myself a gift. And the amazing thing is when I woke up this morning and I wrote down my list of gratitude, I thought of all the miracles that go ahead and happen. And you see, the key to life isn't focusing on, oh my God, it was the worst. It's, I've got some great friends. And I know that there are people that I can call on when the world is crumbling, and they're there. And even though you think that you're alone, the small little things you do, I send out tons of cards. And this one lady called me up on the phone and said, oh my gosh, that card you sent me, Rosalyn, was just absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for doing it. And being able to look at the bigger purpose. Your mind takes what you focus on. And if you focus on the bad, then you get into bad land. Focus on the beauty. You look behind me and there's a O'Keeffe picture that's painted. It's, shows you this beautiful place behind me. And it's all out there for you. It's just what we choose to focus on. And so that's what I'd like to share with you all today.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I have another, Coach. Okay, I'm gonna share.
I'll wait till after you share.
Okay, I'm gonna share something, and that's gonna take us into our next round. So that's why I want you to go ahead. If you have something you want to say right now, let's bring you on. Go ahead.
I'll make this short, Tamara, so as short as I can. I want to, this is why we're here. This is why all of us are here. We all share, have gone through things. And Rosalyn, I got to tell you, man, you and I need to talk because it's all about the future. And I'll get into that in just a second. But I want to talk about what Pat had said. Wow. In a 13-month period, I lost my dad, my dog, my sister that I had not seen in 38 years. We reunited. A niece. So I understand what people, they want to share they want to give you something. And I don't accept sorry. I will not, if I hear of somebody passing or they need something, I will not say sorry. I say plenty prayers and aloha going to you and your ohana in these times that you're in. That just covers a broad span because not trying to be rude, sorry can only go so far. So I choose to use the positivity. I don't want to live in sorrow. I want to live in happiness because I'm still here and I want to share the joy of another day. Yeah. And so that's how I feel about the sorry or how people want to come at you. It's not being disrespectful. You're sharing your love. You're sharing your aloha, which is great. But sometimes sorry kind of sort of gets worn out. The second thing is wow, Rosalyn. Look, I have PTSD, and Tamara knows that I get frustrated even more so on modern technology. I get frustrated very easily based on my PTSD, and I've learned how to control it. Me Inc. now stands for me expressing I need change now, and that's what we're talking about. We help people break those generational cycles, even more so at-risk youth, because they didn't to ask to live where they're living. They didn't choose the environment that they live in. So why would we not want to share more positivity and help them change their life in aloha? So I definitely can relate to both of you. And that's why we all came together today. There's a reason why we came together to share the aloha.
There is. And so I am going to share this now. And I hope you guys are going to take it for the spirit in which it is shared by me.
It's Christmas Eve. It's the one night of the year when we all act a little nicer. We smile a little easier. We share a little more. For a couple of hours out of the whole year, we are the people that we always hoped we would be. It's a miracle. It's really a sort of a miracle because it happens every Christmas Eve. And if you waste that miracle, you're going to burn for it. I know what I'm talking about. You have to do something. You have to take a chance. You do have to get involved. There are people that are having trouble making their miracle happen. There are people that don't have enough to eat. There are people that are cold. You can go out and say hello to these people. You can take an old blanket out of the closet and say, here. You can make them a sandwich and say, oh, by the way, here. I get it now. And if you give, then it can happen. Then the miracle can happen to you. It's not just the poor and the hungry. It's everybody who's got to have this miracle. And it can happen tonight for all of you. If you believe in this spirit thing, the miracle will happen, and then you'll want it to happen again tomorrow. You won't be one of these bastards who says Christmas is once a year and it's a fraud. It's not. It can happen every day. You just got to want that feeling. And if you like it and you want it, you'll get greedy for it. You'll want it every day of your life, and it can happen to you. I believe in it now. I believe it's going to happen to me now. I'm ready for it. It's great. It's a good feeling. It's really better than I felt in a long time. I'm ready. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
You guys see Captain?
Did I forget something, big man?
God blesses everyone.
Whatever your belief may be, this is taken from a classic movie with a modern day twist from the 80s. Anybody that hasn't seen Scrooge, go watch it because it's adorable. But what I wanted to do was to transition now into the miracles that can happen. And I've been bringing it up on some of the other Fab with Tamara shows that we've had recently. And I was actually using some of this movie because I'm a big movieaholic kind of person. And the whole idea that there are people out there that are cold. There are people that are hungry. There are people that are having a hard time with their miracle right now. You may not see it, but they may be having it. And I want to now bring it back to all of you to share what it is that you want to share in regards to, helping others to find their miracle or how you are finding your miracle yourself. And I'm going to start with you, Cheryl, because of the fact that this is an area with that we talk a lot about in the chat. Because you come in and you work with our community, and our community, some are struggling to find their miracle. And then many times they do. And we've witnessed it. We've been there. And a lot of it has been from the information that has been shared. And I'd love to just hear what you want to share right now in regards to this subject.
I called my book It Feels Good to Feel Good. And what I want everybody to do is think about how you can touch other people that will make you feel great. Because once you start feeling good, whether it's with your health or the things you're doing for and with other people, you don't want to give it up, which is essentially what he's talking about. You want to do things that continually promote how good it feels that you did that, whether it's eating the rainbow or taking care of your stress or sprinkling kindness everywhere you go in the community and doing random acts of kindness. You need to do things that spread how good it feels that you feel good. And if you're not feeling good, that's okay too, but then don't hide. Let other people sprinkle their goodness all over you.
I love it. I love it. And Christopher, one of our dear friends, volunteers, one of the impactors, top 5, every day is a blessing and a gift. Can be hard sometimes to see that in our low moments that are temporary. Thank you, Christopher. And his wisdom is just off the charts. Who would like to share next? Coach.
Okay, so you had talked about bringing your heart and all that, and also bringing the tissues. Mm-hmm. We here on this panel, and even impactors, I was also in the competition for the next impactor, and what we learned was how or why we believe we're impactors. the journey, life. Upon conception, we're given life. We're given a journey. We're given an hourglass that only the Creator knows how much sand is in the hourglass when He gave you life in the journey. Mine has been an amazing one, amazing, up and down, in and out. What I want to share is that after losing Mapuana, I struggled for 10 months. I had a choice of where I was going to be. I had to make a choice. I had to make a decision of where my life was going to go after my soulmate passed. Being alone for the first time in 40-something years at 67 years old is difficult. So when I talk, Tamara talked about how it's raw, it's real, it's from my heart. I'm your locker room life coach, and I want to help you in this game of life by getting over things. So I got caught with staying at the house, Mapuana's house in Northern California, coming to Hawaii, and I stayed there for 10 months. I almost died in West Virginia. I had an issue when I went to an event. And what I gathered from all of this that was happening to me was the negativity that I was allowing in my life. I had to make some changes in a positive way. And I'm asking, I'm searching, I'm trying to figure out, where am I supposed to go? I'm lost, I'm hurt, I'm depressed, I'm in pain. And it came to me. And I made a big move. I moved from Northern California just a month ago to Hawaii. Because I believe that this is where my journey, this is where my path, coming back to Mapuana and I, there was a reason why 33 years later, her and I got back together. There was a purpose for the journey. And I want to share that with others because you may be going through this. You may be going through some of the things that we're talking about. But I made a move, and I knew it was the right move, and I had a lot of questions, and I doubted. But I just felt in my heart. I saw, I did, and now I get to feel the choice that I made by coming to Hawaii and being the Tutu man, the first generation of 4 bloodlines that Mapuana and I started back in 1972. Tutu man, grandparent, father, and great-grandparent. So this is where I'm supposed to be. Follow your heart. Sometimes we question these things that are coming at us. Go with it. If you see it, if it looks good, do it. And then feel what you get to feel, the aloha from the decision that you finally made. Change is possible. Negativity to positivity.
I love it. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that, because I know that we've all been rooting you on with the move, and, and thank you for being so real and sharing that too. I mean, we got to see him as doing his garage sales, guys. I mean, that's true transparency. And it really, I think, helps so many people, because letting go sometimes is not always easy. And so thank you for that. Who would like to share next? Okay. We'll go with Rosalyn, and then we'll go with Pat.
Hi, this is Rosalyn. I want to follow up on something that Cheryl had said and something that Chuck had said, and it's the feeling of going ahead and giving back. If anybody goes to my post, I think the greatest thing that you can do when you feel bad is go and serve someone else. And so this afternoon, after our call today, I'm going to a local event where we're going to be, feeding the homeless and so on and so forth. But it doesn't stop there. There are people in my life I know that need foods, and whenever I have something extra, I take it and give it to someone else. And maybe it's not you and food. Maybe it's something else you love to do. Maybe it's the pets or the animals or the wildlife. Find something that you're passionate about and go out and spend some time. Because when you're out there doing the thing that you're doing, whatever that activity is, it takes the feeling off you, and you have the feeling for others. And they always say, when you go to these events, you look at the people who are involved, and these are the people who are on the top of the world. They're always really positive. They're always really upbeat, and it's a win-win for everyone. So not only do you go outside, go to your local organization and soup kitchen or animal shelter or, environmental group and pick up trash around the lake, the river, wherever it is, or go say hi to a senior. I'm part of a group that believes that you should put something out for the people who go and deliver those packages to you. Put out some water and some goodies, because they're working harder than ever before. Telling the person at the grocery store, thank you so much for doing what you're doing, or your healthcare workers. Whenever I see someone in a healthcare uniform or whatever, I cheer them on. Just, cheered on the firemen as I was taking my walk. I'm like, yeah, I got to make some goods for the firemen down the street, because they do so much. It's give to others and the rewards will come back to you in tenfold. And
I
that's my
love that.
suggestion.
Thank you for that. It's the service hero inside. It really is. And I want to say thank you for sharing that. And in fact, I know that here in my neck of the woods, it gets where I am now, it gets really all over the place in the weather and everything. And so many of us will leave things like water and such, like, for the people that are out on there, like the trash people and such. Because when it's hot and sticky and everything, you think some fresh water is going to go a long way. It will. And it's like when Bill Murray and Scrooge is saying, you're going to want to do it more, and you're going to want to do it all year round. You want to keep that spirit alive. And I will say this is that I've done it my whole life. My children now, I think, are doing it as adults. And that would be that I always left one Christmas decoration out all year round in a very specific place, because I wanted them to remember that every day. And we celebrate Christmas, but whatever your belief system is, that every day is a giving day. Every day is a day to celebrate whatever that belief system is. It's not just one day a year. And so thank you for sharing that. Pat, let's go to you.
Thank you. I just want to say to find things to be thankful for. Like, even when I was going in the midst of it, when Gary was in the hospital after he died, my son was sick, he was in the hospital 4 times. There was still something, like, I would remember, like, people really stepped up. I remember I just said it to somebody. That was the first time in my life that I think I felt helpless. Like, I always prided myself on being able, no matter what happened to me, I always got up and did. And I mean, that just really threw me for a loop when that happened. And people stepped up for me and were there for me. And I also, like Coach Chuck was saying, there came a point that I realized, well, okay, I can't live like this anymore. I have no idea how much longer I'm going to live. It could be a while, and I can't, like, be in that place anymore. Like, so it meant, getting away from certain people, certain things on social media, because certain people, they just live for that and they want to stay there. That's their life. And I didn't want to stay there. I couldn't stay there. I couldn't live like that. I knew I had to go out, and I started doing what really makes me happy, what I'd like to do. Like, life is short. If you want to do something, you need to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to tell someone you love them, you need to do it now.
Right. And I remember when that all happened, that you're talking about, and how all of a sudden it was. And who would have ever known? And I shared the picture here that you sent over, because it tells your story. And when they, that you are, here, you're military, and you get out there and get it done, and get done now. And that was the 2 of you. And you wrote a book about it, even, a children's book that is just, amazing. And we went into the service hero. Everybody here is a service hero. If you guys want to look them up, go to the Service Hero Show, put their name in, and find out more about their story, because we did go into depth on each one of these amazing service heroes that are giving of themselves today. So thank you for that. Amiee, do you have something that you want to share right now, kind of like to button this all up, this segment part, because your insight is always so appreciated. Your words of wisdom are just, and they come with your heart. And that's what's so incredible. So I'm going to put you here. There we go.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much again for this opportunity to speak. And I'm holding so much resonance with everything everybody has already said. So I'm just going to expound a bit upon what has already been said. Friends, healing is a journey. It is. And it has hills and it has valleys. And there are many, many miracles that can be found within it. As you listen to some of the other panelists, they are living, walking miracles. And I'm so honored and so privileged to be a part of such an amazing group of people. once you learn to identify what your thought patterns and what emotions cause those thought patterns to be, you gain incredible clarity around what those patterns are. Life begins to shift at a higher vibrational level. And as you begin to feel better, it does feel so good to go out into the world and to share your message of experience, strength, and hope with other people, because you being the light, you sharing your message, you sharing your story creates a spark of a different biochemistry inside of another person. And that little bit of hope for them turns the light on in them. And I truly believe that the future that we are walking into is brighter light being turned on, so that this world becomes a greater expression of unconditional love and inner peace. And I believe in each and every one of you, because I know if I can heal, right, there's a possibility for each and every one of us to have our lights turned on. So just know there is a person out in the world, no matter what it is you're going through, that sees you, your real you, the internal you, the heart you, the soul that you are, the purpose. And I pray for you every day. And I love you. And I believe in you.
Well, we all love you, and you are just such a bright light that shines for us all. And I can't even say thank you enough for that, because I'm tearing up. I don't know who else is, but I know I am. Because there you go, Coach. I have my box of tissue here, ready to go always, and that is what I was really hoping to share here. And as we start to close up our time together, it goes so fast always. Yet I would love to just open it up for a few moments, with a few words for what it is that you're feeling that you want to get out there before we close the show. I'm seeing Cheryl. Cheryl, why don't we start with you?
We haven't talked about, and I've been talking it a lot with my group, is it starts with self-love. And I have a routine where I want everybody to get up in the morning and go, good morning, to the mirror. How are you today? How do you feel? And what do you need from me? And then give yourself love by showing yourself that you love yourself. And if you've got garbage going on in your head, hit it directly, because it doesn't want you to change, and you've got to silence it down. But then your body is very smart. You just have to get quiet enough to listen to it and then to love it. That's when I want everybody to get into the habit of doing gratitude, because if you list the things, big, little, or in between, that you are grateful for before you start your day, you set out on the right foot so that you have a positive day. And I do all that first thing in the morning when I get up, when I'm looking in the mirror. I adjust my lifestyle habits then. I ask myself what I need, and then I implement, because I want to show my body that I love it. I just don't want to tell it that I love it. And if we do that, a point of love, and we have more to give.
Beautiful, and thank you. And can I just share that your wisdom always is resonating in my ears, in my soul. I always am living, it's like, okay, now what would Cheryl say about this? Okay, what do I need to do about that? Am I eating enough of the rainbow colors? You're always, because the wisdom that you share is so important on a daily basis. And I want to say thank you. Who else would like to say something as we're closing?
Here we go.
Rosalind, yes.
So I
And
want
then
to go
Coach
ahead and
next.
add to it what Cheryl says. Another one of those great things about getting up in the morning. I have this mantra that I say to myself that I'd like to share with all of you. And I talk about myself and I use adjectives. I love myself. I'm outgoing. I'm positive. I'm beautiful. I'm intuitive. I'm courageous. I'm a team player, and all the adjectives that go ahead and talk about myself. And I say, and today's going to be the best day of my life. And then I go ahead and I thank the person up there for bringing me all the people in my life who are helping me in so many ways that I ever could imagine, that are coming to support me in ways that are beyond my soul. And then I say, I thank you for all the funds that are coming to me to be able to do the things I want to do, to be able to help the people I want to help, to make the world truly a better place. And today is going to be the best day of my life. And if you supplement yourself by saying these mantras to yourself, that you can make these things actually come true to you, because your mind doesn't know right from wrong. And if you go ahead and feed it this information, that it can be that way. And so I go out and people say, I don't know what happened to you, Rosalyn. You look better than ever. What have you been doing? What's been going on? And it all begins with the thing that's called self-love. You can't find it out there. It's all got to come from inside you. And the one last thing I want to end with is be careful when you're driving. Drive the speed limit and make sure you're doing what you're doing, because too many people lose their lives by drinking and driving at this holiday season. Remember, there are other people out on the road. And I want to share that just love yourself and remember that you're making an impact on someone else's life in the world. You never know the words you say, whose life you can change. And thank you for allowing me to be on this panel.
Thank you for sharing that. And such words of wisdom. Absolutely, Coach.
Okay, so you showed a picture of a leaf,
Yes.
and I want to touch on that and end my part of this. Last year, November, we were out here on island in Mapuana's house, and she was very sick, very sick. And I got a call from a good friend of mine. Do you want to introduce me to somebody? And so on the way out to catching the phone outside, because I didn't want to talk in the house, I looked down because I was like, and I saw that leaf. Look at it. That was on the ground in the backyard of Mapuana's house on the island of Hawaii. And I looked down at it and I went, wow. Directly after that, I get a phone call with an individual that I am now, she's like a sister to me, Brenda Ringwood. She is the founder of Be the Best You Can Be by Overcoming Your Challenges. And I was introduced to her. And her and I hit it off right there. And when I got off the phone, I'm thinking to myself, wow, Chuck, wow, really? You're dealing with this, but this is an inspiration. This is the energy. See, you have to learn how to release the poison from within you. For me, it's called me expressing I need change. Look, you can only be me. You can't take care of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unless you take care of me first. Self-love, being strong within yourself. And so when I saw that and how this whole thing has played out, is I thought about Mapuana. And I looked at that heart, and it represents our love we have, unconditional love that her and I have for each other. Still. And I said, what would my baby want from me? What would your loved one want for you? If you're given another day, wake up, as my father would say, I woke up, and I say, yeah, the rest of the day is adventure, Dad, because you were given another day. Go out there and share the love, share the aloha, share kindness. What goes around comes around. And if everybody on the face of this planet would pick up one piece of trash and do one good deed every single day, we'd be a happier, healthier world.
Yes, yes, yes. And we have one more. Pat, you're the one that hasn't spoken yet in this round, right?
Yes.
Yes. Did you want to share one more thing?
Just again, to be thankful. You know, it's really difficult, as everybody knows, you know, when you're going through your darkest times, but you know, that helped me a lot. Like if you have to start with the basics, you know, if you have a roof over your head, that's a biggie to be thankful for. You know, if you have heat in the winter and air conditioning in the summer, that's another biggie to be thankful for. You know, people say, I have nothing to be thankful for, me, life's horrible, this, and this happened. And that helped me, that get me through it. And that hopefully helped me help other people. Like, even if you just inspire them, well, she got through it, maybe I can get through it.
Beautiful. And I want to piggyback off of that, and we talk about it in the celebration journal, and that's for our buddies, and that is, it might be that it is that you are luckier than many because you have clean water. You are luckier than many because you have clean clothes to put on. Many people throughout the world that they may not, and we are amongst those that right now. And if someone is waiting for their miracle, like it was shared, then what can we do to show up to help them? And it is like what was shared today too. If we can be picking up that one piece of trash, if we can do that little bit, and if we all collectively do that little bit, we will literally change the world with our hearts. I want to say thank you to all. We have to go now. And whatever holiday season or whatever it is that you celebrate and you are showing up today, we are grateful that you spent this time with us. And we will be back next week. It will be Christmas Day. Join us. We're going to have some fun. And until then, may this day be fabulous for you all.
Meli
Thank you.
Kalikimaka.